Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. My name is Dustin. What do we have today? Coffee. Gotta have the coffee. Mm, mm. Thank you all so very much for being here. I appreciate you. Uncle Big Guy is first. Good morning, sir. Evelyn is here. Good morning, dear. John Guggenhan is here. Good morning. Sherry is here. Hey, you is here. Good morning. Only time alive is let's see. Anytime alive is late to start, I immediately think of old Mervin's commercial. I don't even know what that means. I'm not as old as you, Heath. Or wait, am I older than you? I don't remember. It's fine. It's fine. I was late because I was putting together a quick little video. I was editing the video from yesterday that I took. It's like a minute long, but I had to edit it. I went to a meetup yesterday with Jackie and um Jennifer Lucas. I'm looking at her name and my brain goes won't put the words together. So it was Jackie and Jennifer. It was Brett over at Hoosier Carnivore. He put the meetup together. Wolfie's Bar and Grill over on Geist Reservoir. Super fancy. Had a lot of fun. Yeah. So I will go ahead and show that little bit of footage that I have from that. Now, again, as I said, let's see. That's not big enough. That's better. There's no audio because they were playing music very loudly. So I couldn't get audio. Otherwise, they would probably take the stream down. That's a thing that happens. So be mindful of that. It's not just, demonetization, but they may actually block the video. So, because they were playing very popular songs. So we got people who that's backwoods carnivore backwoods or something from Tennessee. There's Brett and his wife. And I'm not sure who everybody is. They met a lot of people, and my brain hole just doesn't remember like it should. That's Brett. He's talking to me, but obviously, because of the music, we had to cut the audio completely out, which is no fun. And there is Charlie, Mr. Darth Carnivore himself. See, Sarah's back there, Jennifer's back there. You'll see them all in just a moment. I wish I could get audio, but like I said, it's just one of those things. YouTube is just so very unforgiving when it comes to music. But it was a really nice place. Had a steak with shrimp and broccoli. Yeah. You can see the water and all the boats. It's still early in the season, so all the boats are covered up and no one's out really. But it does get kind of warm. There's Jackie if you ever want to know what Jackie looks like. But yeah, so I had a good time, as you do at these events. Let's see what's going on here. He says that he's a year younger, or I'm a year younger than him. It's about right. Stacy has her coffee. How are you doing, dear? Are you doing well? Are you on the mend? Matreya. I'm glad to see you are here, dear. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so we had a good time. We got there about 10:45. It was a place didn't open till 11. But yeah, we had a really good time. Met some new people. Becky is here. Good morning, Becky. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so it was just a lot of fun. The food was pretty good. I did get Shander some takeaway. I got her some Brussels sprouts. It had like feta and stuff, like a soy sauce and feta. So they also would come with cranberries, but I did ask them to not put those on there. I didn't even get a chance to taste them because I got her a to-go order, got it home, and when she got home from work, she ate it, and yeah, I'm excited too because yesterday or the Saturday or no, Friday, I'm sorry. Friday we went yard sailing and I got myself some new to me enameled cast iron skillets. And I'm excited. I have some cast iron and stuff, but these are super smooth. I'm gonna reseason them. I did cook some chicken in them last night. So I do want to reseason them. So, Evelyn says she just finished her first cup of keto brains. I probably need to take something like that, but like I don't know. Good morning, Sharon. How are you? Let's see. Let's see. I have no idea why I'm awake. 2 nights of shows, 3 a.m. to bed, night, silly brain. I just sleep. I don't know. Maybe it's just like the schedule that we keep now, or you know, I just have this whole thing where like I don't I let me go this way or whatever. Sleep a lot more than I probably should, but sleep is good. I love sleep. So, good morning. Woke up late for you. Well, I am glad you're here. We've only been talking now about 6 or 7 minutes, so we're good. Yeah, we only almost exclusively cook in cast iron. I've just got to season it better. I mean, it was they said it was never used, but um it doesn't matter to me. I brought it home, cleaned it up. Good morning. So they're saying good morning. We can't stay. Just wanted to say hi. I was there at the meetup. Looking forward to your content. You have a great day too. Thank you for stopping by. I truly appreciate you. And it was good to meet you yesterday. Kenneth Pattinson's in the house. Good morning, Ken. I almost said sir. I didn't want to anger you. I was calling him sir or Mister Pattinson Patson, and he was getting angry with me. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I've just been doing it. My mom would be very upset if I wasn't doing those type of things. So I have to. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I love it. Super excited for today. Um, Coffee, hanging out with you, wonderful people. Wonderful, wonderful people. Mm. Yeah, I made a family pack of chicken thighs last night, which I don't know what kind of family that's supposed to feed because Shannon and I both had 3 chicken thighs, and that we left three pat. No, she had two, I had three. That left 2 or 3 chicken thighs for the fridge. So Becky is asking, do you check your ketones regularly? My ketones have been zero point 0.2, practically non-existent. I did eggs and beef, bone broth yesterday. This morning, ketones 0.5. My thoughts are as long as you're above zero point 0.1 and you're not doing keto for something very specific like seizures or epilepsy, that type of thing, as long as as long as you're above zero point 0.1, zero point 0.2, you're fine. I know they say that zero point 0.5 is nutritional ketosis, but I mean, the thing we don't truly understand right now is how our body is utilizing the ketones, how much they're utilizing, and how that impacts the actual numbers. So you have ketones in your blood. That's good enough for me. Now, I mean, if you're fasting, I mean, if you're fasting, like I only typically check my ketones when I'm actually doing an extended fast, really because people are curious. I'm curious. That's really the only time I weigh myself as well, outside of just randomly, sporadically weighing myself when I think about it. But I just don't see a point in checking ketones that regularly, especially if you are legitimately on track. Now, I mean, when you're first starting, I understand. We had this conversation yesterday at the meetup. They were getting upset because the urine strips were not working any longer, and there is a reason for that. So the urine strips that you buy from the grocery store that are like $6 for a container of 100 or 50 or whatever it is. So what those do is they don't measure ketones. They measure acetoacetate, which is a precursor to ketones. So if you are starting a ketogenic diet and you are just starting to get into a state of nutritional ketosis for the first time, chances are your body is going to be producing acetoacetate. Once you cross the threshold and you are in actual ketosis and have been for a while, your body no longer is producing the acetoacetate. It's only producing beta hydroxybutyrate. So, beta hydroxybutyrate is ketones, and the strips don't pick up on that. But you can always get like a BioCoach reader or a Keto Mojo. Um, I would say I'm a little biased, and I would say we'll go with BioCoach. That's Goody Beats brand, and to support him and his family and such. So, um, I'll put a link to them down below when this is over. Like I said, I think they're handy to have on. I think they're handy. Like I have this right here. So this is kind of my little packet that I keep in my office. So it's got now this is before they did the rebranding. So this says Keto Coach on it. Or yeah, this one says Keto Coach, but they've since rebranded as Bio Coach. So I've got this little meter. I think I paid $50 a couple of years ago for it. And it came with strips, and then I've got one of the little cheap glucose monitors or the blood glucose testers. And I've got the strips for that. And then I've got the strips for the ketone monitor in here as well, and the little punchy thing for your fingers. I have a couple of these. But I have this in a little kit here. Like it was just like, let's see here. Just a little kit that I have. So whenever I am doing testing, I'm typically filming the testing. So that's why it's in here. Because I have the camera set up and I have that stuff going on. So it's just one of those things. Like I think everybody really should have something like this, not to be obsessive about it, because I don't think that helps or benefits anybody. But I think just sometimes, depending on how you're feeling, if you're feeling really, really good, check it sometimes and see what it is. If you're feeling kind of dumpy, we have those days, check it, see how it is. But I wouldn't check it every day unless you're in the really early stages and you need that real time feedback. And I think that's where, the little ketone strips come in handy in the very beginning, because it does give you the feedback that you're doing the right thing, that you're on the right path. But, um, let's see. I want to see. So Stacy is saying that she's on the mend. There is no hip pain, but terrible muscle pain in the leg. Yeah, that's gonna be a thing. I know that just yeah. Doctor, not surprised that they had to bend my legs so far back. I was kicking myself in the back of the head. You're a very spry woman. And he says breakfast this morning was dirty eggs cooked in the same cast iron skillet that we made parrot head gravy in last night during the horde cook along. Oh right. Jennifer says, is there a difference in ketone range for different meters like breath, blood, or urine? I honestly don't know. And there's also, so one thing that you'll want to know too, especially I know this with like continuous glucose monitors, there's going to be a varying range. I know that those can range differently. They may be 14 points high or something, they could be a few points high. So, I know there's not really another way besides the keto mojos or the keto or the bio coach and things like that. But I think just knowing that you are in a state of ketosis enough for it to register on the meter is plenty. That's my honest opinion. But again, I am not a doctor or a healthcare professional. I know that whenever I've gone into like to do like yearly physicals and such, they'll be like, you have ketones in your blood. And I was like, I'd hope so, because that really does freak doctors out. Because doctors who aren't familiar with keto or ketogenic lifestyles, or that you are on a keto, or you're on a keto lifestyle, when they see ketones in the blood, that's typically a bad sign for like type 1 diabetics because, well, not ketone. So ketones at that level, like point 0.2 to point even like 6, is not even an issue. But with a type 1 diabetic, and what makes doctors afraid of ketones is ketoacidosis, which is typically like ketones like 13 to 15. But that's not just the ketone numbers, not just the ketone numbers, but there's typically accompanied by sugars of like 7 to 900 or higher. So that's where ketoacidosis comes in, where you have extremely high blood glucose and extremely high blood ketones. So doctors are so ingrained that they see ketones, they start to worry. So hopefully that'll start to change over time, where you're going to be make sure you're honest with your doctor. I'm on a keto diet. I'm eating this. I'm eating that. You know. So let's see. In a little over 5 years, 5 years, he has been keto. I've never checked my ketones, and I'm an odd for not seeing the point. I don't think you're odd. I think just certain people need that validation, because you are changing, you are doing something so drastic. And for a lot of people, having that visual representation of what's going on in their body is so helpful, because like I know, I just used the strips for a long time. I didn't did a keto meter for a first couple of, like, maybe first 2 years I was keto, so I didn't do it. But now, I mean, as I'm doing the channel, and I think it's kind of a important thing to be able to talk about. So, does everybody really need one? No. Is it an extra piece of information that I think can be valuable to people? Yes. And I mean, they're not so expensive, they're not cost prohibitive. If you're doing it every day, I think they are, because the strips come like, can't remember how much the strips were. I want to say they're like 50 strips for like $35. So that's why I typically only do them when I'm fasting. So, you know, I will definitely send you. I'll put the link in the code, or the link and everything in the description below. Um, let's see here. My leg ulcer is healing too. The doctors are impressed with my healing. I did tell them I'm sure it's because of the way I eat. Eat no sugar, processed foods. They wish others would do it. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. Like, so there was a person that I saw on Facebook, and their husband or whatever had surgery, and they're like, "Oh, it's healing food." And they were eating like a big, huge pastry, Edmonds type looking cake. And I was just like, it hurts my feelings, but I don't say anything to people because it's not my place. I will try. I will try and do that. So she basically wanted me to post cast iron seasoning when I'm doing it. Um, yeah. So I've seen videos on how to do it. So I'm gonna try and see how it comes out. We'll see. Matt Franklin from the most magical place on earth, Disney World. I must admit, I'm jealous every time. It's like I want to live close to Disney World, but I don't want to live in Florida. It's like I would look like, how close could I be to Florida or to Disney World and not actually live in Florida? I think like the closest I could get would be some, maybe like parts of like South Carolina. Like I think you can get within 3 hours of Disney, for like if you live in like certain parts of North Carolina, or maybe parts of Georgia or something like that. But then you're not near anything. So I don't know how that would actually work. Did I miss Charlie? Is Charlie here? Kenneth Patson is a new member. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you so very much. You and your wife being members truly, truly means the world to me. Let's see. Um, I didn't see Charlie. I thought did someone said Charlie? I didn't see his name in here. Let me scroll back up and see if I'm missing it. Like I'm not seeing Charlie. Someone said hello to Charlie, but I don't see Darth Carnivore in here unless there's another Charlie I'm missing. Let's see. Mine has been 10 to 20 lately on a breath meter. That seems to be that I'm creating ketones but not using them. You said you've got some medication things going on. I would talk to your doctor about that for sure. Okay, time to head out. Thank you so very, very much. Great weather and my yard is calling. I hate yard work. I don't, I mean, it's good enough if I can cut the grass. I just, it's not for me. But I like seeing people's well manicured lawns. I just don't care if mine is. I know that's bad, but that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Good morning, my lady laugh a lot. Cindy is here. Good morning, dear. Good morning. I think you know the answer to this question, Evelyn. Come on now. I think I would love, and I say this because I say this, but I would love to be able to work at Disney World and like work in like the Haunted Mansion or like the People Mover. I don't know. That would just be so cool. Oh, and I'm sure I would get insanely like irritated after a while with hearing the same things over and over again, but like it'd be so cool. Because there's a lady that I follow on Facebook, and she doesn't use her real name or anything like that because she is, I think she's a senior leader at Disney World, at the Magic Kingdom and places like that, and she has like a secret like Haunted Mansion page on Facebook. Like it's not secret, you could find it, but you don't know who she is. But she is a cast member, like a senior cast member at Disney, is from what she says. And she's working on opening up a air like a haunted mansion Airbnb. So amazing. But just being able like, and she's been able to show us like photos of like backstage, like different things about the ride, and like, and there's like different props and things that are like when they because they do take things in and out sometimes. Just show us that kind of stuff. I love it. I love that kind of stuff. That's one like next time I go to Disney World, if we don't go with the kids, I want to go and do the Keys of the Kingdom tour, go to the utilidors. I'm totally a Disney dork, and I don't care who knows it. Let's see. Stacy says that she checks her ketones, blood sugar, vital signs, weight at the first of the month. See, I can get behind that because then you're just using like 12 strips a year. And I think that's a valid investment. I think, testing them here and there is totally valid. I don't think that testing it every day is worth the cost unless, I would love to have like a continuous blood and a continuous ketone monitor for maybe like, depending on cost, maybe 2 months, maybe 6 months, just to kind of have it long enough that I can kind of get a full gambit of things that we eat, how it impacts me, and all of that stuff. So I think that would be truly, truly, you know, maybe if you lived on a boat with a goat. I am the goat. I'm just kidding. Not really. Charlie says, so Charlie is here. Good morning, sir. It was very good to see you yesterday, my friend. I just tested this morning out of curiosity. Fasting blood glucose 102, probably dawn phenomenon. And like 102 isn't that big of a deal. I think like I imagine that our blood glucose is going to range somewhere between like 70 to 100 on a daily basis, just out of our body doing our body things. I don't think like like 100. Like I know like if you were to go get your blood tested or whatever for work or whatever, they were doing like a thing and it's above 99, they're gonna be like, well, you have elevated blood sugar. But like that was always drove me nuts because they tested it like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, and that could be in your dom phenomenon. but you can't. But that's just a one little snapshot. If they would have checked it again later, it would have been probably 75, 80, or whatever. Who knows? And Matt says, really enjoy working here. Love to interact with the guests. Plus, I get to go to the parks for free. That's my dream. Is just to be able to be like, okay, it's 6 o'clock. I want to go ride Haunted Mansion, People Mover, and see if we can get on Tron. And then go home. Maybe we'll see the fireworks and go home. The date nights at just having date night at Disney World. Like one of the best things that Shannon and I ever did together, just the two of us, is when we went in 2018 to Disney, we went by ourselves. And it was so cool. Like one of the first things we did, we went to Disney Springs. We got a late night reservation for the Edison. And it was so cool. Like the Edison, they had like flapper dancers in there, and they were playing like old time jazz stuff, and it was loud and it was just going crazy. And then we went out and we sat on the patio on the water, had our dinner, just the two of us. It was, I think there was another table out there too, but it was a little chilly. It was like October, late October of 2018. But we were having dinner. They had like the big, the heaters outside. And, we're just hanging out, just the two of us on the water, and we're having dinner. And then you could see the park's fireworks. And it was just like, to me, like one of the most romantic. It was like totally Lady and the Tramp, you know what I mean? Totally romantic. It was just the best, one of the best nights that she and I have ever shared together. That's just the two of us. And I don't take that for granted. I would love to be able to do that on a normal basis, because normally our date nights used to be like just go to Walmart, walk around for a couple hours, go to Walmart. We need to go get groceries. So let's go to Walmart. I mean, we'd end up buying things we didn't need and stuff, but we'd just walk around, joke, be funny, just look at stuff and just have a good time. I mean, that's one of the things that we love about going to, Disney too, is people watching, seeing all the people, because there's so many people. Oh man, oh man, oh man. I know that like if we live closer, I would probably try to go to Magic Kingdom every day in October that Mickey's Not So Scary is happening at night, and just stay for the morning and then leave in the mid-afternoon, because like that's the secret to being able to ride a lot of stuff. Like we rode Mine Train twice in one day. That's incredible. Without a fast pass, we didn't even buy Genie Plus while we were there. I think if you know how to navigate Disney, then you don't need to necessarily purchase like fast pass, or like, well, it's not fast pass. It's like now it's Genie Plus. But then that doesn't give you all the rides, and you have to maybe pay for some of the rides. And I think next time we go, if I can't get on Guardians of the Galaxy, then I'll pay to ride it. But that drives me bananas. But anyway, I digress. Um, I don't have a taste for much sweets, even keto chow. Waiting for keto chow savory. Have you heard have any tip or when baking? Let's see. I imagine it's sold out fast enough that as soon as it's sold out, they probably ordered more. But it's a lengthy process for them to get it, because if you know, when they just brought back the butterscotch a couple of weeks ago, it sold out around middle October. It sold out around October. They brought it out at the very beginning of October, just before Keto Palooza. And I think it may have even sold out right after Keto Palooza. And it took them till just a couple of weeks ago to get more. So typically, if something sells out that fast, they will bring it back. It just takes time. And I don't think they know how much time it's going to take. So that's why they're so that's why they're so kind of cryptic about it, because they probably don't even know, because they're dealing with multiple manufacturers, packaging. Packaging has to be printed, sent off to pack, and the ingredients are to be mixed, all that stuff. So there's so many moving parts and logistics involved. And I mean, it's just nice to do a surprise and, oh, we've got this back. So I would imagine that Baked potato will be back. 100% it will be back. This is my guess is I have no insider information. Everything that I'm telling you, I have heard Chris say on public or in public on a live or whatever. That's how long it takes for things to come in. And so I would imagine that that's going to be one of those things that they probably already put orders in for it. It's just gonna take time. I imagine they've already ordered peppermint, and because peppermint sold out so fast, but I don't know how much they ordered to begin with, but peppermint was actually one of Chandra's favorite flavors. So Carl's here. Let's see. When Evelyn first started keto, I bought her a Keto Mojo to check her glucose and ketones. Bought it off Amazon with our HSA. She only used it as she was getting momentum. Yeah, and I think it's going to be different for different people. Like I think, this thing sits here for most of the year and I don't even touch it. But then if I do a fast, I'm like, well, I'm going to check my blood. I'll check it and show you guys, because people are typically interested, you're fasting. What's your blood glucose look like? Like I can be fasting for 7 days and I can still pull 100. It's not that I have high blood glucose necessarily. It's just your body can make its own glucose. So, you know, Sherry's asking if Charlie had recommended a new title of a book for Dr. Chafee. Yeah, like a children's book titled "Plants Don't Want to Be Eaten." That's entertaining. I love that. Our daughter just got trained to work at Savi's workshop. She'll be working with Sarah in the shop. I did so. I watched a whole video of Savi's workshop where you're building your lightsaber. It looks like so much fun. Oh man, but to do it, it's like what $200 to get a lightsaber or something like that. So I mean, it's a true experience. You're paying a good amount of money for that. So and you see so many people walking around the parks with their black lightsaber bag. We didn't get a chance to do that, but our youngest did get a chance to build his own droid. So that was cool. He named him Little Guy. Just a little guy. He's 20. But anyway, hearing Dr. Ovadia on a live stream with Intentional Carnivore a while ago say that our hearts need ketones as well as our brains was important to me. Glad I have a keto mojo. And I mean, so if our hearts are utilizing ketones, our brains utilizing ketones, our body as a whole is utilizing ketones. Because so here's the thing. So ketones are a byproduct of burnt fat, right? So your burning fat turns into beta hydroxybutyrate. So it's going to be in the bloodstream. Then that's going to be used up by your heart, your brain. I don't know. I wish we may never know how that mechanism works between what's your serum blood ketone level versus what your body's actually using. I don't know if they'll come up with tests or not. That may be something to start asking about. Um, but yeah, it's super interesting. Let's see. I still can't believe the opportunity my son turned down as a teen. He was offered a scholarship to Barnum an art school. But if you do well, you're pretty much guaranteed an apprenticeship at Disney. To be an Imagineer, that'd be so amazing. So ketone meters and strips are usually covered under medical. Yeah. So I mean, if you have like an HSA card, you can probably, health savings account, which most people do. A little known fact about HSA cards. So Chandra had saw a financial planner and they said max out your HSA every year if you can. And when you turn 65 or when you retire, that money is no longer constrained to medical usage only. So before you retire, that money is it's tax-free money. that you can use on dentist visits, doctor visits, copays. You can buy, I've bought CPAP supplies with it. All those things you can buy with that HSA card. But the financial planner said that once you turn 65, you can use it to buy anything. And it's like, you're getting tax free money, but I mean, then you got to hold on to it for a while. So, you know, good morning, Chris. How are you doing, sir? Good to see you, Heath. Heath is going to do chores. Let's see. Jennifer, you would be the one using words like cad. You cad, miscreant. I just checked my blood glucose and it's 140 and ketones 0.02. Hmm. Well, you've got ketones and your blood glucose isn't crazy high. I mean, is it higher than like, what you would want to see? Probably, but you're still reading ketones and I don't know, there's got to be something like stress related, maybe there's an underlying infection or something like that. I mean, because you can have infections and not even know. I mean, that could happen in like gum, like with teeth, like with like mouth infections and things like that. You wouldn't even know. So I don't honestly know. I have carnivore Girl Scout cookies. Oh my goodness gracious. I do miss tagalongs. I think that's the dosey dos. I miss dosey dos, the peanut butter ones. It's the best sawdust you're ever gonna have. Now I know that the Catalina Crunch peanut butter cookies, the sandwich cookies, they come similar. They're similar. They're like in the same like city, maybe the same state as the Dosey Dos. Chris is gonna see what comes to mind. It seems like we're giving you a lot of work, Chris. Let's see. Good morning, Chris. I pre-cooked ground beef to make lasagna recipe today. And he says that 2.0 is coming soon, coming in May. Awesome. So, speaking of May, it's gonna be May. Um, Jackie and Jennifer and I are going to be having a meetup. Meetup. We're having a meetup May 18th here in Central Indiana, West Central Indiana, in Amo. Cost us $20 because we will be providing the brisket, the pulled pork, the keto chow pumpkin soup, which is I want it all the time. I just want it all the time. It's so good. Um, and hugs, lots of hugs. So if you think you can make it on Saturday, May the 18th, up to Indiana, let Jackie know. Look on lowcarbevents.com. You can find our post with her email. Email her, let her know. The payment options are there. So yeah, let's go. Let's have a good time. I think we've only got like 20 people signed up right now. We can have up to 100. So tell your friends, tell your friends. Let's go. Let's have a good party. I appreciate that, Charlie. So what Charlie's talking about is I released a video on Friday. I found a Guardian article that came out like April 17th or something like that. That basically showcases and kind of tries to outline why the American Diabetes Association is still pushing insulin therapy for type 2 diabetics, diabetes. I said it. Why they're pushing insulin so hard instead of other therapeutic options that are on the table that there are studies showing that it works. Even their own president at the time in 2020, she came out and said, I had type 2 diabetes. I'm off all my medication. I was doing a low carb diet. I don't think she necessarily said keto, but she said low carb diet and got off all of her medications. Um, and I found that extremely fascinating. And another fascinating bit was one of the major corporate sponsors for the ADA is CVS. And then when she came out and said that, she then later resigned. I can't remember off the top of my head if there was a timeline of when she said it and when she resigned, but she then went on to be a senior leader at Walgreens. Now, that's fascinating because if CVS is a corporate partner with the ADA and then she gets a job at Walgreens, I don't know. There just seems how everything is all connected, and maybe I'm reading too much into that, but I still think it's fascinating. So that video is actually doing pretty well, and I want to thank everybody who, if you have watched it, if you haven't watched it, go check it out. It's only 5.5 minutes or something like that, or maybe it's like just under 6 minutes long. Um, but yeah, go watch that. I'm coming up on 500 views. I think right now I am currently at, as soon as this refreshes, 489 views. And I'm at 6% impression and click through rate, and average view duration is 2 minutes and 48 seconds. So if you guys could go watch it all the way through to the end, that would be great. Hit the thumbs up button, share it on your socials. I think it's important. I think it's an important message and something important to look at. And I got a couple of comments in that video, saying that, well, keto will lower your blood glucose, but then, then it's more difficult to process and handle things like rice and such. And I was like, well, you just don't eat it then. Right? Like if you have trouble, or if your body can't process rice and wheat and all that stuff, and you can't process it efficiently, then you shouldn't be eating it. It's like you don't give an alcoholic alcohol. You don't feed kids with peanut allergies peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We have EpiPens, so why not eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and just go, why don't we do that? We don't, because that's silly. But we will eat sugar, cakes, candies, cereals, breads, pastas, and then give ourselves a jab of insulin. And I do have some other videos planned. I have a video planned about there's like complications that come from diabetes, other issues that come up with diabetes. So not necessarily complications, but other things that can go wrong, or other issues that come along with diabetes. So it may be one video, maybe two. I need to look at it again and kind of get an idea of how I want to put that together. I also want to make a standalone video, and I know I've talked about this at nauseum here and on my lives, is things that I hear when we're talking to people, like especially at meetups and such. Now, yesterday was primarily a carnivore meetup, so it was, who's your carnivore, his meetup. So a lot of the people that were coming in are carnivore. But I was like, I was saying something along the lines of, where we were inviting different, everybody we were talking to that lived nearby. Hey, come to Keto Palooza. And they're like, well, I'm not keto, I'm carnivore. And I think there's a stigma there that's like, well, I'm carnivore, so I can't do keto stuff. Well, the question and the question that I posed to this person was, if you're eating a carnivore diet, aren't you producing ketones? Then if you're producing ketones, then that's a keto diet. I mean, that's a keto lifestyle. If you're eating a way that you can produce ketones, that's where, and Jackie said something interesting that I don't think she had mentioned to me before. She had said that she was thinking about naming her channel like the Keto Umbrella. I think it's a fascinating idea. She went with Jackie's Keto Journey, which is fine as well. I think I want to make some kind of video like that because I think it's so easy for people to not connect the dots and go, well, I'm carnivore, so I'm not going to pay attention to keto channels, or I'm trying this lion diet thing, so I'm not even going to look at, like, I'm not even going to watch Chris's channel because he's making things that are just carnivore, but he's using, not beef products. And that's fine. You don't have to watch our channels. That's not, I mean, there's so many channels that, I mean, it's impossible to watch them all anyway. I mean, they were talking about different channels yesterday, like carnivore channels. I'm like, I don't even know who that is. They're like, really? And I'm like, there's 1,000 channels probably or better. Probably 10, there's probably 5,000 keto carnivore lion diet channels. All that, I mean, that's like just impossible. It just is. But I want to make content because I think if I can break through and kind of make sure that we're not fragmenting the community, because if carnivore, keto, lion diet, dirty keto, ketovore, all the people can work together, we have a far better chance of reaching more people who just don't know that, there's a better way. There's a better way than insulin. There's a better way than listening to the ADA. And I'm not recommending you don't listen to the ADA. As again, I'm not a doctor, healthcare professional, or anything like that. Consult your doctor. But you understand what I'm saying. I think we're getting poor advice. I think the medical standard is flawed. It's never going to be perfect. Keto isn't perfect. Not everybody can do keto. Not everybody. And I was talking with a gentleman yesterday about, like cheat days and such. And I was like, if you're a 2 meal a day person over the course of a year, that's like, just for argument's sake, 700 meals. And if you have 20 off plan meals, 20 out of 700 ain't so bad. Like, and they were like, well, and I'm like, not everybody is going to be perfect. Nobody actually is going to be perfect. And I know that the growing consensus is to, not cheat and not, but I think for a channel like me and where I came from, if I would have went into this, and I did kind of at the beginning come in where I, when I, okay, so let's back up. When I first started, I was still under the impression, well, I can, at different milestones, I can have, like, if I get down to this weight, then I can go and do this. And if I get to this weight, I can go and do that. Well, that's not necessarily the correct mindset, but it's not far off, because I don't utilize weight or accomplishments like that to do things like go have sushi or do whatever. I do plan these events because in reality, knowing that I can have whatever I want whenever I want is a better tool for me personally to stay on track than to just say, well, never having that again. Because if once that kind of enters your brain, then your brain goes, but why? I want it real bad. And then you're more likely to break and then go off the rails, go on a bender. And if I can do things like that in a controlled environment, now I understand that not everybody can do that. There's going to be people who can moderate, but most of us in this lifestyle, in this community, probably wouldn't be in the community if we were good at moderating what we put in our face. Because if you can have a package of Oreos and it goes stale, you're probably a pretty good moderator. I mean, it's lucky that a pack of Oreos lasted a night in our house. So I say this, and I know that there's people out there who are abstainers because that's the only way they can be successful. And I think understanding yourself is so very important in that. Like, understanding me is going to be different than you and the person next to you. We're all different. And I think even though we will say things like, biodiversity, I mean, there's somebody out there right now who's probably thriving on a vegan diet. They're doing everything they can to do so. They're supplementing hardcore. They're doing whatever. They're not eating like vegan chili dogs and stuff like that. And there's people thriving on carnivore. There's people thriving on dirty keto, eating nothing but hot dogs and, you know, single slices and things like that. They're doing just fine because they're not eating the standard American diet. So That's, I want to make a video about that. There's just so many things that I want to make videos about because I want to like kind of get us to a point where we all need to not necessarily see eye to eye with each other, but we have to understand that we are a community and that if we are super fragmented, we're not going to be able to accomplish the goal that we all have. And that goal is to have a happier, healthier society with less medications, less need for medical interventions, less disease. Because a lot of we just know that a lot of the diseases that we are seeing now are so preventable in the long run. A lot of them are. Now, there's going to be things that pop up that just food isn't going to fix. It's just not. But if we can do everything in our power to make sure we are doing everything we can to increase awareness that food matters and the quality of food, the type of food matters, then I think we're doing a great service for everybody out there because we are putting the work in. We are the ones who are listening to these lives and you know, we're watching the talks by doctors and we're going to places like Keto Palooza to see these doctors in person, these scientists, these engineers, these people that are putting in actual true life hours figuring this stuff out. And we owe it to them to make sure we are staying connected as a group, as a community. So we are serving everybody out there who needs us, who just doesn't know it yet. But yeah. Jennifer Lucas says, I want to try your hash brown truffle recipe in a bowl form filled with sausage and cheese scramble. So you're gonna use it in a stuffler? So put the hash brown, like put it in there and then put your sausage and cheese, egg in there, and then put the stuff on top and then stuffler it. That sounds amazing. Danny Beach is in the house. Good morning, Danny. It's so good to see you. Please address hair loss or shedding. I haven't figured that one out yet. I think I lost my hair because of sleep apnea. Um, Now my father is bald, but they always say that you're going to take after your mother and your grandfather. My grandfather was like the missing link. He was furry, had a full head of hair when he passed away. His arms were covered. He had his like a built-in sweater. I mean, I don't know what happened. I don't have much hair, and that's gone. But I understand what you're asking, and I think it just comes down to not getting enough protein, not eating enough, and collagen and things like that. I think that can be something that can truly help address that situation and stress. That's my basic understanding. The FSA paid for her Lasix. So I don't take any specific supplements for that. The only supplements I'd really take are electrolytes, so like calcium, magnesium, potassium, and I do take some apple cider vinegar supplement, like pills or whatever, like gels or whatever, because I just really can't get over the taste of it. I've got some like lemonade, like flavored, um, like a sugar free squirt, like one of those water enhancer things and I just can't get over it. It's just a squirt in like a big 32 ounce. It's just I can't. So I just take the pills every once in a while, try to keep things under control. So you know. And Evelyn says Dr. Berry has mentioned several times that anytime you change your eating lifestyle, you'll lose some hair. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, there's definitely a stress on the body for that. And then I know if you're getting enough protein and collagen and all that stuff, you're gonna be fine. I think. Yeah, Thin Mints. Everyone liked I was never a fan of Thin Mints. I thought they tasted waxy. All the recipe ideas are a lot of work, but it's a passion, and I'm happy if I can try. Yeah, that's the thing is like I try to think about like so most of my recipe ideas that I come up with are when I'm fasting. I'm like, that sounds really good. When I'm done, I'm gonna try it. Sometimes I see the light of day, and sometimes I don't. More people talking about the hair loss. I got the peanut butter keto chow yesterday. Hubby is loving the fudge, thinking peanut butter will be great. Yeah. Good morning, Brenda. Thank you for being here. And more talk about, yeah, about the hair loss stuff. Um, I wish I could go to the May 18th meetup. I have an advanced quilt class that day. That sounds fun. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's see. I made banana fluffer nutter fudge yesterday. Banana keto chow, peanut butter lilies, and Max Mallows torn up in it. That sounds interesting. See you later, Jen. Can't find my pockets. And Dr. Barry is spearheading the ADA competitor called American Diabetes Society, where the goal is to reverse type 2 diabetes. Dia, I always want to say diabetes. I say it so much more than diabetes. So if they're interchangeable, right? Instead of helping people manage it for life. That's the thing is like they consider it a progressive disease, which means over time you're going to need more insulin. And if you need more insulin, that's more profit. Of course, they're going to let you have a progressive disease, which is such a like, it's crazy that as humans, we're okay with that. Like an association, it's like, well, we know that this works over here, but we make more money if you do this. You know, it just boggles my brain. Most people don't know diabetes and pre-diabetes can do a lot of yeah, like that was one of the things that scared me is like that would start like back before we got rid of cable, we would watch TV and we'd see those commercials with Cedric the Entertainer. He's like, my diabetic nerve pain. And I'm like, I don't want that. No way. I don't want to just sit and my feet have like needles shoved through them. That doesn't sound like fun. Not even a little bit. Good morning. Thank you for being here. Like you can do, let's see here. You can do a carnivore diet that doesn't produce ketones, especially if you eat a lot of protein and undereat. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that. I haven't looked into that, so I don't know. I'm a carnivore and I love keto as a way of eating too. Whatever makes you feel good and helps you heal and stable, no living in fear of food and judging the food of others. Just love and progress. That's my thing. Like we can't help the masses if we're too busy fighting about which one's better, keto, carnivore, lion diet. Now, I think the lion diet has its place for people who have severe, autoimmune issues. Carnivore works for people who have the ability to do carnivore long term or even at short spurts. Like for me, I feel my best eating just like hamburgers and like hamburger patties and eggs and some bacon thrown in. I feel great, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to have broccoli and keto chow and things like that. I'm just not going to do it. Um, you know. Yeah, and I understand that that's why the proper human diet took off so well, but it's like even in that community, you start to see more people like pushing carnivore over keto. And I'm not saying like it's a bad thing to promote what you do and what's helping you because that's exactly what I do. But I just start to see, even in that community and others, it's just like a growing disconnect. So even though proper human diet, it's just a matter of people will take that term and make it fit whatever they're doing. So someone will say, well, I'm keto and I eat this and my macros are this, and that's the proper human diet. And someone will say, well, I'm carnivore. That's the proper human diet. So I understand the sentiment as an umbrella, but people will find a way to niche themselves down. They'll find a way to to, just totally kind of miss the point. Humans have a way of missing the point. So, it's like truth, you don't have to watch our channels, but if you're not watching Keto Simple, are you even trying to keto or low carb? I appreciate you, Chris. I really do. You made me laugh. Um, I want people to watch me. I mean, I do this, and Chris, you'll know this takes a lot of work. And I did have a conversation with somebody yesterday. They were like, "Why do channels like try to make money?" And I'm like, because there's different levels of channels. There's channels that don't make any money. They're just doing a little bit here and there for just for fun. There's channels like that are in the process of trying to get to where they could be monetized and make some money. There's channels like for me, like this is truly a labor of love. I am monetized and I do make money from the content that I make, but like I mean, I get a check from YouTube like every 3 months for like $110. So I am making money, but it's not sustainable money and it's not even enough to cover expenses and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm always very transparent about that because I don't want people to get the wrong idea. I would love for this to be sustainable and I would love for this to pay my bills and I would love for this to be my full time everything. But that's really difficult. There's people like me who make the bare minimum of being monetized, and then you have someone like Dr. Barry. Now, I mean, I'm not comparing myself to Dr. Barry. He's a doctor, and he is providing far more value than someone like me on a grand scale. He's got 3 million subscribers. He's making thousands of dollars a month from his mighty networks and super chats, and then he's get his content views and stuff. So, and he's also getting money from Element and things like that. So, and he works with Keto Chow very closely for electrolyte drops and all that stuff. So, it's just a thing like, you know, everybody is needs to get, not everybody needs to get something back out of YouTube. I get back from people like Chris and you know, Charlie and Danny and people who are here every Sunday with me or every Saturday when I'm doing a live with someone else or shows up to our Tuesday live, people who watch my videos. That's a big, huge thing. But at the same time, like, you know, cameras aren't free and stuff like that. So I think there's some of a disconnect. And I mean, I think that there's such a weird thing with YouTube that it's like if you are trying to make money, you're disingenuous. And I don't think that, and that's the one thing I think if anybody takes anything away from what I'm trying to say here is even if a channel you like is making decent money, doesn't make them like a shill or disingenuous. As long as you can see, that they're actually like providing a service and they're getting value from their content, I think that truly means, that whatever they're making is going to the right place. Um Danny loves doing yard work and cut the grass and work on my stone. Yeah, I mean, I love that people love to do that. I just hate it. Like mowing the grass is like one of my most unfavorite things in the whole world because I never had to do it as a kid. Like I grew up in apartments. It wasn't until I moved in with Chandra that I lived in a house. It wasn't until I moved in with Chandra that I had more than one bathroom in a place where I lived. I grew up in one bathroom apartments my whole life. Like when I grew up, most of the time I grew up in a house. It was like me, my mom, my brother, and my grandma in a 2 bedroom apartment, and we had one bathroom. That's how I lived for the bulk of my life. And then when I moved out, I moved in an apartment. It was a 2 bedroom apartment, one bathroom. It was a standard. And then I moved back in later on. My mom and grandma needed my help with bills and things. So I moved back in to help take care of them. My mom had strokes and, was immobile. And so doing all that stuff, had one bathroom. So, I mean, it's just one of those things like I never had to mow grass because I just had no grass to mow because I lived in apartments. And now I have this thing that I never had to do before. So it's not a thing that I'm used to. So, I mean, now it's just such a chore. I'd rather pay someone to do it. But right now, I have to do it because I don't have the money to pay someone to do it. But I mean, I would like to get to a point where I don't have to do my own dishes. That'd make making cooking videos all the better, wouldn't it, Chris? All the dishes you have to do after you're done making those cooking videos. That's the true nightmare. Tripping up is human. Giving up because of that or beating others up for it is pointless. Supporting each other is key. 1000%. 1000%. Cannibalism is the only version of carnivore not considered proper human diet. I mean, it's a human diet. Sorry, but not really. That was hilarious. Let's see. My glucose 101, A1C 4.9. That is amazing, Danny. Uh, Getting your glucose, your A1C to 4.9, that's insane. That's like super awesome. And Carl saying better to plan an event than react emotionally. That's something I struggle with that all the time. Emotional eating is a nonstop like true thing for me. Like that's the thing that I'm probably going to be working on the rest of my life. I'm going to win and I'm going to lose. But it's just, I mean, to be honest, I mean that's one of the hardest things to work around because sometimes those emotions hit us so hard, and it's just hard, fast, and you're just like, I just know I'll feel better if I do this, even though you won't. But you will. Does that make sense? That's just how my brain works. Yes. It's getting cold again. I'm meal prepping Chris's chicken noodle soup, y'all. It was cold here for a while. It got down to the 30s, was like getting up in maybe the low 60s, and now like it's been in the 70s. So hopefully it kind of gets to a nice level and levels off. I don't want a super hot summer. More coffee. Thank you, Becky. Mm, mm. Yeah, totally agree. He was agreeing with Cindy, like, so much easier to get up when others reach down and help you. That's 1000%. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. Cindy says, with rapid weight loss comes hair loss, at least for her. After my bypass surgery, I lost a bit. And when we started keto, losing the first bit, lost more. Yeah, I don't know if I ever had that. I mean, I was basically balder than this before I started doing keto. So it hasn't helped, if that's a thing. Carl says I could say diabetes any way I want. It's my channel. Easy peasy. Stacy says I have to be an abstainer. I want to be the best I can be, and for me, it's eating clean. I don't know why chicken said. I choose not to do the keto snacks, desserts, and even fancy recipes. And I totally, I mean, and most of my time is that. Like, even when we record like keto snacks, like us trying keto snacks, it's stacked. So like that's like one video, or we'll do like 8 videos in a night. And so we're eating all, and it's not like spread out. Like, so you'll see those videos over the course of a few weeks, but we've recorded most of them. Like, we record like 7 to 8 videos in a night. So we'll just set the camera up, get in front of it, and just I'll stack up a chair with all the stuff we're going to try, and we just knock them out. Because then that way I can edit them over the course of time. And it is so difficult time wise to get us together in the front of the camera to be able to do it. So by the time we do make the opportunity, or the opportunity arises for us to film those, it's like, okay, we've got 8 things to film. So we refilmed like the night we did Stacy's pickled quail eggs. We did that video you've seen already of the chalk zero, what you get for $100. We've got probably at least five other videos that we've tried. We tried things that you'll see over time. So most of them were not good, but that's what you come to expect from this channel. Um, Chris says, I try to make money because if I can pay my bills, I can dedicate all my time to it, and I will be so much better for. Yeah, that's my thing. Like, And I understand like there's a mentality that like this isn't a job, but this takes a lot more work than a job because this doesn't go away. Like I can leave my office and go downstairs, but I have like tripods and stuff and that folded up in our downstairs. I can open up anytime. We do our live downstairs. I'm always cooking. That's stuff that I need to do. There's all these things that never turns off. There's always the social media aspect of it. I'm on my phone anytime I'm in the car and Shander's driving. I'm doing, making an Instagram post, or I'm posting to the in the community section, or even last night laying in bed, Shander fell asleep and I worked on an alternate thumbnail for the ADA video. Let's see if I can. I don't think I'll be able to show it to you, but I've got another. I do have a. Let's see here. Let me see if I can open that up. I want to look at it. I'll show you guys. See what you guys think. And you guys tell me which one you like best. Okay, so I'm going to bring this up and see if you can see it. So this is my Adobe account here. So this is the first one that I came up with. So this is the lady I was telling you about. This is her. This is the lady that was working for the American Diabetes Association and reversed her diabetes. I initially made this one and I sent it to a few people to look at, but I was getting more questions about, is that somebody that I'm having on the live stream? Am I having her on my live stream? That I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. That's what people are going to think, and that's not what they're going to get. So I want people to kind of get what they think they're getting. I don't want to be clickbaity or anything like that. So then I went in and moved to this one. Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong one. I'm like, why is it not changing? And this is the one that I went with. This is the one that's up there right now. So if you've watched the video, this is what you see. And then this is the one that I was working on. I think, let's see, this is the one that I worked on last night while Shander was asleep. I don't know how I like it. I don't know if this one would be something that anybody would click on, but just always trying to put things together because I want to make sure that these things are getting to as many people as I can without being deceptive. So, it's like I don't need to be YouTube. I don't need YouTube to make me wealthy at all. Just sustainable, make it easier to do much more for everyone. That's my thing. Like if I can make more money from YouTube, then I can go to things like Hack Your Health. I can go to um like Keto Orlando, and then I can go to other events where all these people are speaking, and I can build relationships with some of the speakers, and I can try to make content from those things. But right now I don't make enough from the content to justify spending the money to go to the conference to get 150 views. I just don't have the money. And I would love to be able to engage with more people because realistically that's my focus here is I want to engage with people, and I want to be there with people, and I'd love to go to like low carb down under in Australia. That would be amazing. I can't afford to go to Australia, but I'd like to be able to. And that just takes a lot of work. Like Mr. Beast didn't become Mr. Beast overnight. Mr. Beast was doing, YouTube when he was 13 years old. And he didn't start making money until like 10 years in. Then he got like one of his videos went viral and he made like $20,000 in a month. And now obviously he's making millions of dollars a month off of YouTube and things, but that's just Mr. Beast. But most YouTube content creators are trying to make, especially like, the ones that have made it their full-time job, it takes a lot because you don't get health insurance, you don't get, paid time off, you don't get any of that stuff. There's no real benefits like having a real job does. So I mean, there's a lot to to cover for. So I feel better with the basics: meat, eggs, animal products. I'm eating a few stalks of asparagus from our garden. Yeah, I mean, I've tried asparagus so many times. I just can't get into it. I just can't. You know, I would love for my wife's channel to take off and be huge, but we know that takes a very long time. But it's growing slowly but surely. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I'm growing. I mean, my goal, hopefully for this year, is to surpass 5,000 subscribers. I would wanted my goal before 2025 was to have 10,000 subscribers, but I don't think that's actually going to happen. But I'm going to continue to try. Hopefully, if I can continue making content like this, this ADA video and more content that can reach more people, then I'll get more subscribers and all that stuff. Because you know, yeah, I hire a grass cutting so energy to garden flowers. Yeah, I mean, like, and it makes sense. I mean, because if you think like, and this goes for all lines of work. If you think about like, what's an hour of your life really worth, and you don't enjoy doing something with that hour of your life? I mean, obviously things have to be done. We all have to do things and make sacrifices. But like, it takes like an hour, hour and a half sometimes for me to mow the grass for our yard. It's a decent sized yard, and I mean, I'm listening to like a podcast or something like that, or a book or something. But like, it's just, I mean, and I know I need to be outside more and getting exercise. So I really shouldn't complain about mowing the grass once a week, but I just don't like it. I know it's probably better for me than what I'm doing otherwise, but still. Yeah. Especially if I bulk make, like, if I bulk do videos in the kitchen too, then I'm like, oh, so many dishes. Or like after Sunday dinner, the kids are all over. Like this last Sunday, they came in and cooked and left me all the dishes, and I still haven't fully recovered. Oh, okay. Just watching you, I saw a floating head because your black shirt blends into the background. It's cracking me up. I love it. Yes, everybody go, and if anybody of the moderators, people can put Sarah's joyful journey link in the chat for us, please. That would be great. I would appreciate you so much. And if anybody in here has the ability, put your link in here as well if you have a channel. Yeah, Chris is saying that YouTube is hard job to have. 100. I didn't realize what it was good. I mean, just like when I first started, I took like so much time just learning learning the editing programs, but because I use DaVinci Resolve to edit my videos. Everything I do, I use because it's free. Like this Adobe program that I show you for the thumbnails is free, but it has limited things. There's a lot of not free things on there, but I just make do with what is free. Um, DaVinci Resolve is free, but there's limitations to it as well. But hopefully, with there's a new version coming out soon that'll hopefully use my GPU on my computer, hopefully make things smoother. Because sometimes editing video that's like one of the longest things because it's just a slow, clunky process. But and make sure that Evelyn, if you want to put Stacy's channel in here as well, yeah, but hundreds of hours learning editing, and then solo color correction. I didn't even start messing with colors till like just recently. I mean, because with DaVinci Resolve, there's like a whole color page, there's an audio page, and you can take like there's like a dehisser, and it says it'll take out background noise, but then it kind of compresses the vocal, and then or the like the talking doesn't always sound great. So I do my best to not record where there is audio or whatever. So like I'm just now learning how to do any kind of color correction, and so yeah. It's just so much to learn. So I mean, a lot of the stuff that I do, a lot of content that I'm watching, as well as the keto stuff and carnivore stuff, is DaVinci Resolve stuff. So, and DaVinci Resolve is like one of the most robust free programs on the market. Even the paid version is $300 total. That's it. And then you have the full, but I just haven't had $300 to put down on the program. But you can get like a full keyboard for like $600. But then if you buy the $600 keyboard for them, from them you get the studio for free. So paying 300 for the computer, or the 300 for the solid metal built keyboard with the all the hot keys that you need to run the Resolve, but you also get the studio or the paid version for free, or basically built into it. So yeah. And for anybody who doesn't follow Chris, make sure Chris's link gets put in there as well, because we want everyone to follow everybody. And I know that like the more people you follow, the harder it is to keep up on all the content, because I am super guilty of missing things, like especially nights where there's like three lives going on at the same time. And I try to drop in for at least a few minutes in each one. But sometimes just keeping up with the content's a full-time job. Keeping up with the content that other people's are making, not only the content that I'm making. Um, Thank you, Cindy. Um, it's not that bad. I mean, I've spent a lot of time learning it, but like when I first got the program, I opened it up and I'm like, I don't even know where to begin. And then so I was making videos on my phone, and I was utilizing a program on my phone called Vlog Now. And it's very simple and intuitive. You can cut and paste and do things and add things in there on your phone. And I will still, like, if I'm on vacation, I need to make a video or something, I'll still utilize that. Or if I'm making a short, or if I'm like, I'll film our granddaughter and make a quick video and I'll send it to the family and stuff. But once you kind of understand like how to use a simplified program, then using DaVinci Resolve is actually pretty easy to use, like surprisingly easy. And then it's there, and like even if you can't figure out something, it's a quick Google search away, and you know it. Like, and there's a couple of people like I love. There's a I'll link in the description if anybody's wanting to use DaVinci Resolve. I'll link in the description below the free version. I have no affiliation with them or anything like that, so no money comes to me for that. And I'll put a couple of people in the description under that make content showing how easy it is. There's Daniel um I can't think what his name is. Daniel Patel. I think his name is Daniel Patel. He does DaVinci Resolve for noob shorts. And I've learned so much from those little 60-second videos, 30-second videos. Just shows you how to do something real quick. Super, super helpful and informative. Yeah, I need to check that out. Yeah. I was looking at the speed editor, and I was thinking if I was going to spend that much money on a speed editor, I might as well just get the full keyboard, because then I have everything the speed editor does plus a full keyboard, so I don't have to find room on my already cluttered desk for a speed editor. So yeah, I just a matter of getting $600 together to buy a keyboard. So if you have the speed editor, then you've got the full DaVinci Resolve suite. Then that's pretty awesome. Um, Now, so here's the deal. So if you are monetized, there will be ads in the live. Um, People who are not monetized. Now, some people will turn the ads off. Um, I use YouTube Premium, and I have since like 2014, because I don't have time for commercials and ads. I just don't, and I don't get any now with that package. So I don't know how many ads pop up in these lives, to be honest with you. But yeah. Yeah, I've seen videos on the speed editor. I just think, but can you use it in? Is it just the edit page or the cut page? I think there's one page it doesn't work so good in. So I don't know. I you do most of my things in like the edit page. I think not the cut page. I'm not sure. Well, iMovie is great if you have Mac. I don't have any. I don't have any Apple products, so everything I run is PC, Android. So I don't have access to that stuff. And even if I mean, then I think there's Premiere Pro and stuff like that, but that's like $50 a month or something like that, crazy. So that's where like DaVinci Resolve is such a good value because one, the free version is so robust. There's like very limited features. Some of the features, most of the features that are behind the paywall are performance issues or things that speed everything up. But I mean, it is very resource heavy, so you will need a nice, decent computer. So that was one of the things that I struggled with when I started out. So I use it in the cut page, and when you do the editor, I use it to find when actually faster the edit page. Yeah, I love it. I just love Resolve all the way around. I was using Canva for a while, then I just started I liked Adobe better because Adobe has a built-in background remover that's free for now, where Canva you can't use their background remover because that's behind the paywall. So that drive me nuts. I didn't like now there is in Windows, there is a new background remover in the photos stuff, but it's not as accurate as the like Adobe version of the Adobe background remover is. But there are things that I can do with the, the I have to use multiple programs just to get everything that I want to do. So doing it free is not always the most best, if you will. You don't get ads during a live only if you watch it. So if anybody here is anybody do anybody see ads during this live right now? Because I don't as honestly don't know. I don't watch. I mean, even when I'm watching a replay, I use YouTube Premium just because I have the family plan. So everybody like so me, Shander, all the kids, we all have it. And it just saves us so much time because of the amount of content we do consume on here. It would be so much laggier if we had ads. And if you pay for the premium, you could actually put on a live stream or like whatever on your phone and then turn the screen off and just listen. You can't do that with the free version of YouTube on your phone. So that's one of the biggest perks right there too. No ads, and you can turn your screen off and watch or listen in the background if you're doing other things. So I'll listen and I'll do like stuff on my things. So yeah. So no ads for me. YouTube's okay. Sean says, I really love how this community supports each other. It's great to see you all giving other channels a shout out. Get this. Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like and I know there are channels where people don't want you talking about your channel and their lives and stuff, but I don't want that. I want everybody to succeed because YouTube is not a famine platform. With as many millions or billions of views there are every day, like with shorts, there's like 75 billion shorts views a day. A day. 75 billion shorts views a day, which equals out to about $8. But, you know, there's never a reason to not support and promote your friends, colleagues, anybody who has a channel that you want to see succeed. There's just no reason not to. And I will always have an open door policy here for people to come in and share their channel. I mean, don't come in here and show every video you have or like tie up the chat kind of thing, but at least be respectful to the chat. But you know, or I mean, if you have a lot or like a meetup you want to talk about, come in. We'll talk about it. We'll look it up on if it's on low carb events, we'll pull it up. We'll talk about it. Like I said, in May 18th, we're having a meetup here in central Indiana, west of me in Amo, Indiana. It's a small town. You can't get there by accident. You have to go there with purpose. And I mean, I was always like Keto Palooza's coming up. I mean, we're starting now to see like teasers and little posts and stuff from Autumn about who's going to be speaking. And so next week we should see all the names released or start to be released. Um, and Evelyn said only in the beginning. There's like one or two commercials. Okay, I wasn't sure how it worked really. I love YouTube Premium. I hate that they jumped the price up, but it's still I don't even know what the prices isn't are anymore. Um, I mean, it's been an auto pay for so long. I don't even know what it is, to be honest with you. I think we pay like it might be 20 a month for us, but like we have six accounts. So I mean, it's me, the kids, the son-in-law, and Chandra. So everybody has an account. So Cindy doesn't have YouTube Premium. I'm telling you, YouTube Premium changed your life. And the only reason I ever got it is because I got Google Play Music back in the day because I sat at work all day and I got tired of not being able to pick what music I wanted to listen to. I was using Pandora for a long time and I would put it on specific radio stations or whatever based on what I wanted to listen to. And they would pick what you'd listen to, and I hated it. And there would only be an ad like every 3 songs. And then it became an ad every 2 songs. And then I finally um broke down and got the Google Play Music, and that came with YouTube. At the time was called YouTube Red, so the premium. They were putting movies out and TV shows and stuff. And so I had that, and I was like, and then I never really paid attention to the commercials anymore. And I was like, I didn't even realize that was a thing. And so I've just been totally spoiled. I couldn't go back. So with free, you can play in the background and do other things on your phone, but you can't close the screen. Okay. Yeah. So my thing is like I can turn the screen off and set it on the kitchen counter while I'm doing dishes and whatever. I don't even have to look at it. So like usually with lives and stuff, I'll do that because I'll have wet hands. I can't respond on the live anyway. So yeah, Sean and his wife are going to KPL. Yeah. Super excited for that. I'm super excited. It's so, and I was trying to explain like how cool KPL is to people yesterday. And And one lady was like, "I would love to go, but it's like expensive because like the ticket prices are like 200-ish dollars, and then like you got to pay for the hotel, and like that's going to be expensive." And yeah, it is. It's an investment to go, but I think it's super worth it. You know. Yes, I'm excited to meet you guys. I'm super excited. Just know I'm more awkward in person, so just know that. Yes, you will. Wish it was this year. I mean, like last year, I didn't know like I didn't know what to expect because I'd never been to an event that big. I had went to Low Carb for Better Health in the summer, and it was a very small 1 day thing. And I think the only person who knew who I was the lady putting it on. Just because I had been like saying I was going to go and made some posts on Instagram and stuff and whatnot. And then I think there was like maybe two other people that I ended up meeting that knew who I was. And then at Keto Palooza, I wasn't sure because you don't know who watches you and you don't know. And there's so many people who watch you who never comment, who never come forward. So you don't really know like who's gonna know you, but there's gonna be more people who know you that you don't know. So that's always kind of a weird kind of like thing to wrap your mind around. Like you're gonna go there, and there's gonna be people who know you that you don't know, which is Like that, like I said, it's a crazy thought to have. And I imagine, that's so I didn't know what to. I mean, it was nice. I met a lot of amazing people, and then there's a bunch of people that I didn't get a chance to meet. I mean, there's going to be 350 plus people there this year, and I think that's going to be kind of the top end. So as Keto Palooza gets more popular, it's not going to get larger. It's only going to sell out faster. So I would still, if you are planning to go and you haven't purchased your tickets yet, I would. There's a link always in the description of every video that I put out. One of the first links in the description with the two discount codes that I'm aware of. I know that there is 2KK and PhD. You can get some money off of your ticket with that. Um, I imagine now that they're starting to announce and getting ready to announce the speakers, then those speakers will then start to engage with their platforms, and those platforms will then start chipping away at the tickets. So, I can't wait to meet everyone. I get to meet a few people the last low carb cruise. My wife and I were closet supporters. We just recently started joining in the communities. Yeah, that's one of the things. Like, there's so many people who will watch that don't comment, that don't, you just never know. So, I mean, if I get a video with 1,000 watches or 1,000 views, I don't get but a couple of comments. So there's a lot of people watching. I'll never even know that they're watching. So, you know, Stephanie, I saw her yesterday. She got a hug from me. Like 5 hugs, maybe, probably too many, because I'm a huggy person. So, mm, yeah. Good morning. She said it was nice to see me. I'm glad. I think it would be cool, like at the KPL. We need to find a way to get like last year they had flags that go on the bottom of your lanyard or whatever, and it kind of said what state you're from. It'd be kind of cool, like if I could put like who I am, and then like have a color. Like if you have a YouTube channel, then there'd be a color flag that says your YouTube channel name, and a flag, something that shows like where you're from, and then like what your level of physical interaction is. Like, you want fist bumps, you want elbows, you want, high fives, you want hugs, you just want a bro hug, you know what I mean? Because there's so many people and everybody's different, and you don't want to like kind of like you don't want to offend people by not hugging them if they want to hug, or you know what I mean? So let's see. Chris is asking, any tips for running a meetup? I'm researching to do my first CCN meetup in Nashville, going to be cooking for a lot of people. So I would say recruit a couple of people in your area to help you, especially if you're planning on doing like giveaways. I mean, there's a lot of there's typically giveaways at every meetup. They'll do like, and there's usually like goodie bags. Um, like, and then they'll do like the giveaways. Like yesterday, there was like a bunch of Redmond's products they were giving away. And the goodie bags, there was one of the little Redmond's mini salts, and like a beef tallow like lip balm, like a bracelet for the guy who's making if the guy in Wisconsin is making like the carnivore video or whatever it is, the carnivore movie or whatever. I think it's carnivore. Um, but you don't have to do those, especially if you're doing work with the meats and stuff. But having someone who can reach out, who has um, kind of like relationships with like some of the big companies, whether it's Keto Chow, getting Keto Chow sent, because they've sent plenty of packets of Keto Chow to us we told them we were going to have 50 people. They sent 100 packets. So everybody got 2 packets of Keto Chow. That's huge. Element will send loads of their sample packs if you're having a meetup. A lot of companies will send stuff. I had people just send coupons. Um, but it is good to make sure you're starting, like if you're going to start it, then start, work on a date that works for you. Find a venue that's going to hold as many people. If you have a big enough house and you're comfortable with people coming to your house, there's that. Um, it's not really a lot of. I mean, it's not difficult. People will show up. Um, but I think if you're going to do giveaways and you're going to do like goodie bags, that kind of work takes a while because then you got to get the bags and then you've got to hopefully they'll ship it to you on time and then you pack the bag. You know what I mean? So involving people in your local community that are following you or helping you, then they having them help you with that will go a long way. So yeah. Okay, yeah. Carrie's doing a carnivore documentary. Yeah. I just can't keep everything straight. I wish my brain just isn't like it used to be, I guess. That's the one bad thing about where we live. We live in the middle of nowhere, Virginia. There aren't that many people near us for a meetup. We have to drive 4 hours to get to DC. Oh my goodness! Like, cause I have family that lives in somewhere DC or somewhere Virginia, but I think they're like an hour. Like I think they're an hour from DC because my cousin's husband will commute. He works for a news station there. He's worked for multiple news stations there. Oh yeah, lowcarbevents.com. Once you have everything solidified and you got like a poster kind of made or whatever, you can ask Chris Bear about getting either keto chow or salty scent to hand out at your meetups too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and then I know like maybe not. I mean, a keto brick has been a company that sends keto bricks to meetups where everybody gets a keto brick. But I don't know if they're going to be able to do that right now because there's got some kind of shortage going on for them. But yeah, yeah, Keto Chow is great. They're so wonderful. They work with so many people and they do such great stuff for the community as well. And that's one reason I do promote Keto Chow because I promote it to you guys. And if you buy from me, you get a 10% discount. And then they will give me a percentage on the back end too. So, I'm promoting them. You're getting a discount. I'm getting a kickback. So it makes it worth my time to make videos or make content to promote them and make, things like that. So, it's really good. And I mean, they don't have to do what they do. I mean, they're super involved in the community. They're super friendly. So yeah. Chris, you had 3 million views. That's amazing. Like, I know what I've had to do to get 500,000 views. Like, and that's one thing that's like, I think a lot of people don't understand is like how much, like the work that goes in to get like 500,000 views, the work that goes into getting 3 million views. There's channels out there with multiple billion views. That's crazy. Billions of views, like for real. Like I know I talk about Mr. Beast every once in a while, but he put a video out yesterday and it had been out 3 hours and had 13 or 14 million views. Like my biggest performing video that's a long form video is my white bread chaffle recipe, and it's got like 30 some thousand views, and it's out 4 years, 3 years. And then I have a short that's coming up on 100,000 views. But I put that out before shorts were shorts, and it allowed me to put a thumbnail on it so people will find it and search and watch it. It just has to be like 45 seconds long. So I was getting paid like it was a regular video for a while, but now I gets paid like it's a short. So it's one of those things. So Stephanie is saying that it baffles her that there's no keto carnivore events in Chicagoland area, which I'm close to. That's crazy to me. But at the same time, I don't necessarily know how crazy it's not. Um, I don't know. You would think there'd be something in Schaumburg or Chicago Heights. I can see not doing something in the city just because of logistics of parking and all that stuff. But Schaumburg, Chicago Heights, even maybe up to like I don't know, other places around there. Um, I mean, it might be interesting if we could do something like that. If we could get like, you would think like the Keto Twins would have done something already, done like a meetup and had that. Maybe they have. I don't know. I don't necessarily. I don't watch every video they put out. But it seems like that they would put out something and talk about a meetup. It'd be kind of cool if we could get uh, like, uh, like have a meetup in Wisconsin and get Steve to show up. Have a meetup in Chicago and get the Keto Twins to show up. But I mean, sometimes people will make this content, but they don't necessarily want to be involved in the community, which is kind of weird to me. But I understand it. It's just one of those things. Like people want to make content, and that's enough for them. They're making content for you, but they don't necessarily want to be personally involved. Where I'm more into the personal aspect of it. Um, yeah, Matt's got a point. So like if there, then create one. And I mean, I'm sure you may be able to get some of us to help you out along the way. Um, I definitely wouldn't do it in the city. I mean, even if it was like, say, I'm not, I know you live somewhere in Indiana, but like, even if there was an event up in like Maryville, there's a lot of places I imagine there's a lot of places in Maryville that could hold a meetup up in that area. And then, maybe Joliet. Um, so Joliet, Chicago Heights, um, Schaumburg, yeah, Hobart, all those places up there that are in that general Chicagoland area, you know. But yeah, if you make a, or if there is a Chicagoland meetup, I will do everything in my power to get up there. I try to go to as many meetups within like a 2 to 3 hour radius as I can. I would even go as far as to say like Wisconsin and stuff like that. You know, is that a place in Illinois? I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that. Village of Dalton. So there's Dalton. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. So it's south of Chicago. Looks like it's between 57 and 94. So yeah, I don't really know much about it. Yeah. So yeah, so everyone's like Maryville, Valparaiso, Hammond, Hobart, Griffith, Cherville. Oh, okay. So she's got a corrupt mayor. They're making the news. There's a lot about Chicago that's kind of corrupt. I mean, you know, I mean, Chicago. Yeah. But yeah, I'm surprised there hasn't been more Chicago. I mean, there may have been Chicago things like uh like the talk that Autumn gave at Keto Palooza last year when she tried to do her own meetup, or she went to a meetup and her and her mom ended up talking to themselves and then talk to anybody else, which I thought it's like I don't understand how, like, you know, I'm chatty Cathy. I would talk to everybody. So, you know, um, but yeah, if you have it, they will come. So that's the thing is like it, and I don't want to go off on like a tangent or nothing, but like People are so willing to overlook things until it impacts them directly. That's so crazy to me. But with that, I want to say thank you to all of our supporters, everybody who watches every week, comes in, comments, hangs out with me. I truly, truly appreciate you. Those of you on this list here, uh, Ken, I haven't added you yet, but I will add you onto this list. Thank you so much for becoming a new member, Ken. I appreciate you so, so very much. I appreciate you all. I truly, truly love each and every one of you, and I hope to see you all very soon. So I'm excited to the fact that Chris is working on a meetup. I will do my best to get down there. Like Nashville's like a 5-hour drive for me, so just down 65. Um, it'll be cool if Buc-ee's is open on by then, so I can grab some jerky on the way down or back. I just wish they had a better soda selection. We'll try to get Adam to go and hang out down there because he lives in Bowling Green, so that's not far for him. We'll see about see who else we can get. Maybe you can get Ken Berry to stop by. They live in the area. Ken Berry, and then who else? There's another person in the area that I'm trying to remember. Hold on a second, because I cannot remember everything. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, Amanda Decker. Reach out to Amanda Decker. She's doing low carb for better health down there. She may be interested in coming out. And Dr. Barry and Nisha. I mean, you are a growing channel, so I imagine you have some more pull than you think you may have. So shoot for the fences. Aim for the fences. You'll get there. Um, so with that, thank you all so, so very much. I appreciate each and every one of you again. I know I say it, but I want you to know that I truly mean it. I enjoy having my coffee with you on Sundays, talking, learning things about you, sharing my thoughts with you. And with that, Shander and I will see you on Tuesday, and we'll see you later.